helped organize the union here at Street Health when I was an employee, something I'm very proud of and something I would do all over again. I just want to say a few words about what's happening here. One of this is like an ideological debate I think we're having. I think Street Health needs to get back in the community and get back to where its roots are.
Yeah, you got that right.
Gaetan gives Street Health integrity. He's one of the best mentors I ever had. People here, there's a lot of people who worked here who lived, in compromising situations, that needed a fair contract, that needed a job, who are no longer working here today. And I'm really glad that we're here supporting Gaetan, because this neighborhood of Sherbourne and Dundas is changing. We have a redevelopment down the street. We need organizations to stand and have a foothold to help the people in this community. Street Health belongs to the community. It doesn't belong to executive directors and managers. It belongs to the people that started. It belongs to homeless people. And Gaetan needs to stay here, and Gaetan will stay here.
Hi, my name's Graham. Okay. I'm not an outreach worker or none of this thing. I don't educated social work. I'm a client, right? Okay, because you never heard from the people who get to use the service. So everybody knows me and knows I'm really long-winded, so I'll try to make this short and sweet, okay? Hi, Gaetan. I know you're surprised to see me here. Right. I know I've been around these streets for too long, all right? That's how it is. I've been in and out of the shelters for too long, okay? When I first got down here, and I didn't have ID, or I'd lost my ID or something, whatever, another foul up on the way of the trail of life, okay? There's this guy, Gaetan, right? So I meet this guy, Gaetan. I said, if you see Gaetan, don't worry. This guy will help you out, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if any of you guys know Gaetan, if you didn't know Gaetan, I went up to you and I said, if you go see Gaetan, he'll help you out. You might say, well, gee whiz, I've been downtown for like a month. I've been ripped off by this guy, that girl, this girl, and the cops, okay? But if you go see this guy, Gaetan, okay, more than likely, if you find him, he's going to help you out, and that's the way it's always been, right? And it wasn't too difficult to find this guy named Gaetan. And then you find, after you meet him, and then a year goes by, so a couple years go by, and then you get into something else falls off, right? And things come apart, right? And you say, gee whiz, that guy Gaetan, I wonder if he's still around. But you'll bump into him, so you run to see Gaetan, and what does Gaetan do? Gaetan's there, and he helps you out, okay? And I've known him long enough, like a lot of us guys have known him out, and he's helped us all out all along the way at different levels and so on, right? So if it's so important to go to Scarborough, why don't they just pack up their office and move there?
Yeah.
All right? If it's that important that they got to move him out, then why aren't they going out there? I mean, like, what is it? I'm blind here? Okay? If you guys got a real deal, then go out to Scarborough, lead the way. If the example is Gaetan, they need to make the example, lead the way, okay? Because I say, Gaetan, I'm here to back you, man, the best I can. And thanks for being here for us for all these years, Gaetan.
In a second, I'm going to ask people in a second to walk up with me, and I just deliver the letter to the front desk, and hopefully they'll come down and receive it. But I do want to end with a story that I don't tell too often. It's a story how I first arrived to Dundas and Sherbourne. So breathe in. You're right. Thanks, Graham. Thanks for the help. In 1987, my brother was killed in a police chase just before Christmas, and I went and sought the help of David Kiff, who was one of the first people I met when I moved to Toronto. And then I decided at that point, after to find out what happened to my brother, that I would go and meet with David and see if I could start working. And David actually had been working at Central Neighborhood House for a number of years. And I remember my first night when I went to meet David to talk to him about that. I sat in that lobby, and it was a weird place, a very strange place. I've never been to Dundas and Sherbourne before that way. And in front of me was Tony Eagle. Does anybody here remember Tony Eagle? I don't know if you did. And I'm watching, and Tony starts to talk to me, and he says, he doesn't know me, I don't know him, and he says, I was in jail with Leonard Peltier. And at that time, I didn't know who Leonard Peltier was. I was, I think, 33, 34 years old, and I didn't know, because most of my life has been spent trying to survive personal stuff with my family and all that kind of stuff, and just struggling to survive. And there's this man telling me I was in jail with Leonard Peltier, and he shared that with me, because I guess he thought he could share that with me. And that was my first experience. And from there, I began to meet extraordinary people like David Kidd, Carolyn Wright, Ruth Mott, Kathy Crow, Kathy Hartle, Barrick German, John Clark. And I began to be politicized. I began to understand what had happened to me as I grew up in poverty. Because I'd always been told that somehow it was our fault. My parents' fault because they couldn't feed their kids or whatever. So, but then what happened is I began to meet people who live in these conditions. Thousands of people. And they began to tell me their stories. And when they told me the story, I assumed they believed something would happen. That they had an ear, that they believed something would happen. And I don't know when it happened. I don't know where that transformation happened. But to this day, I think I have an obligation to tell those stories. Because many of those people are not here today to tell those stories. Is that true? Very true. I think the first Cherry Beach story I heard was from Philip Toulouse. That's the first time I heard about Cherry Beach and the cops taking people down to Cherry Beach. You know? Cherry Beach. Lots of people have that story. People would tell me about the conditions in Seton House. All that kind of stuff. The beatings they get, the fact that they can't eat and pay their rent, all that kind of stuff is happening. So I have an obligation, we have an obligation. So today, I really want you to come with me, because I think these letters here are telling them that, you know what? You've made a decision. And you've dug in your heels. And you said you're going to remove me. Today I'm answering you and saying, I want to stay. Right. To continue the work I've done. To work with the people I've worked with, I've been with for the last 20 years. I want to be able to walk down these streets, and I want to be able to say hi to Dexter and to Cindy when I go to work. I want to be able to stop as people want to tell me what's going on. I want to be able to do that. If you want to stop that, it's your choice. It's on your conscience. So right now, we're going to go deliver these 2 letters, and I really, really wish that people would come with me if you can. And let's go, and let's go. Let's go. Careful. Okay, Gaetan. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Go support Gaetan. Stay with her. I don't know what I want to go to Colorado. Oh, we don't have to go too far. I'll go for a walk. Come out there, please. And walk if by himself, nobody else. Good walking for him, good walking for him. I'm sorry. By ourselves. Well, Gaetan's boss is an asshole.